Wherever I travel, I hear people talk about revival. It's a very valid subject to talk about. But most of the times I hear that they say revival will break out in this country or revival will break out in that country. That is actually sad, because revival, the greatest revival that you will ever be able to experience, is the revival within. That is one of the most amazing experiences that you will ever be granted in your life, is to find the original you being filled with the Spirit of God, a new breath, a new spirit, a new sound. And that is not a sound of an alarm this day. It is a sound of many voices. As the water covers the earth, and there was an ark, and that ark was the Ark of the Covenant, an ark that God built through his Son. And he said to him, build this ark. There's going to be a lot of water, and I want you to be safe. They all laughed at him. It was an amazing joke to all. How could he do that? He even clad it with cedar wood, the cedar within, a cedar meal. People coming together around a table just to talk about a weekend or about what we've experienced or just our life experiences. And then there was the woman sitting with Jesus and the men sitting with Jesus. And they all said the same. Jesus, I want you to know you are my more than enough. You are my more than enough. They did not at that time try to see who was the greatest, who was the best spoken, who knows the best. There was one thing for sure, that they all had the same in common, and that was that Jesus was their more than enough. So how do I find that more than enough place in my life? Romans 8 speaks about the sons and daughters destined for glory. As we all know, the greater glory will be shone through the sons and daughters of God. The mature children of God are those who are moved by the impulse of Holy Spirit. And you did not receive the spirit of religious duty. That can make any person so sad. That can be so heavy to carry if you have to do that. It leads you back into fear of never being good enough. But you have received the spirit of full acceptance, enfolding you into the family of God. You know how beautiful it is when you are accepted. You get to a place and you are accepted by the people. That is feeling like family. And you will never feel as an orphan, for as he rises up within us, our spirits join him in saying these words of tender affection. Your spirit will recognize him, and your spirit will say, Abba, Father. Abba, Father, have mercy on me. For the Holy Spirit makes God's fatherhood real to us as he whisper in our innermost being. And he says this, you are God's beloved child. When you pray at night, Father, will you whisper into us and our children these words? You are God's beloved child. And since we are his true children, we qualify to share, listen to this, all his treasures for indeed. We are qualified to share all his treasures for indeed. We are heirs of God himself, co-heirs. And since we are joined to Christ, we also inherit all that he is and all that he has. Wow. blessed, redeeming love. Being a child of God means so much more. Being a child of God, you will know I am never neglected. I am always looked after. We will experience being co-glorified with Him, provided that we accept His suffering as our own. I think I can stop right there. Because life, even in the fast lane, in the slow lane, doesn't matter where you are on earth, there will be a cup of suffering. There will be a part that you have to walk through. There will be a part that you will think, I am alone even in this. But God says, I am for you, not against you. God carries us through. But there's also a time in our life where we need to accept who we are. I am who God says I am. I am a child of God. I am a beloved child of God. Lord, will you whisper that in our innermost being every day? When you start realizing who you are, your life change. Do you know, I've even realized that people being so kind to you not because of who you are, but the love of God in you. The kindness of God are always displayed. The kindness of God is not always coming from your side. God will use people even to show you His love. I find it all over the world where I go, how God used people just to care for me, to show me you're going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. And just those words, you are safe. You're going to be fine. You know I'm taken care of. That means so much to me when I'm not at home. And so the other day I found myself after a weekend conference. We just went for 2 days to a place where friends invited us, and I found a deer came close, and he started licking my hands and then my feet. And as I stood, I could hear the Father speak to me, and He says, I want you to know how much you are loved. I want you to know that even nature loves you. You are loved by the King. How much are you and me loved? If He says you are God's beloved child, we are no longer in a place that I try to strive to be. You did not receive the spirit of religious duty. What you do is unto God. What we do every day is unto Him. That will lead you always back to I am never good enough. So whenever that feeling comes, I'm never good enough, I just stop and I say, God, will you whisper truth in my innermost being? You know why David asked for truth? Because there's a lie in there. And that lying spirit lie dormant. And he wants us not to get him out, but to believe him. And when you are at your weakest, he comes and he knows he can take control. So we give that seed of control over to you, Jesus. We give our innermost being to you. We give our everything to you. And I thank you for the trading floor before the throne of grace, where I can trade daily, even my tears for joy, where I can trade even these sufferings, where I can trade everything that I go through. And I see how Jesus took it on him. He even took our suffering on him on the cross. And then he taught me and he says, but I want you to start receiving my love. I want you to start, make it your own. I want you to start seeing whatever is mine is yours. Whatever is mine is yours. Can you accept that today? Truth is, we can't really, if we still have a belief that I'm an orphan, I'm rejected, I will never be good enough. We will stay in that mindset. But if you can rise above it all, and you can go into a higher dimension, where I've mentioned that God said that there's a dimensional shift happening. That is the dimension where the prodigal son, even the oldest brother and the other one, did not get it. Son, did you not know that everything of mine is yours. A glorious day this day when you start realizing there is more in you than the eye have ever seen. I just call it revival. I call it revival when I can feel the well open up, the fountain burst open, and I can even hear the water flowing. So it means that all the water that are stuck the new water starts flowing. And there's a revival even in the innermost being. And I can say, I am who God Yahweh say I am. I bless you this day, and always remember, to God, always all the glory.